Hey y'all, my name is John Mitchell. I'm a certified financial coach. The purpose of this video and this YouTube channel is to teach you how to master the personal finance basics. In today's YouTube video, we're going to be discussing buying a house when mortgage interest rates are high. Buying a house is quite an investment. For many of you, this will be the largest purchase you ever made and possibly will ever make in your lives. Not to mention that, there's also a lot of money that has to be involved, whether you're going to provide it up front yourself or take it out in form of debt via a mortgage when purchasing the property as well. Also, you'll be working with a lot of people to get this done. There's realtors, lenders, the seller, property inspectors, tons of things that have to happen that can and could go wrong when working to buy a house. As the title and introduction suggested, today we're focusing on that money portion of buying a house. With the 3 tips I have for y'all today, it's gonna set you up for success when you go to buy that house, whether to live in yourself or use it as an investment property. Tip number 1, we'll call it the Ramsey method, is just banking cash. It's not crazy, it's not sexy or anything like that. It's literally just taking more time to put more cash in the bank so that you can put more on that down payment when you go to buy the house. That way, the more cash you put down will allow you to have a lower monthly payment, which will help that mortgage payment fit in the whole or the space you've created for it in your budget. The biggest complaint to this, to banking cash is that it takes time. It does. There's not a lot of things. You can't just grow cash on trees, as nice as that could be. So one solution to do the Ramsey method faster would be to pick up an extra side hustle. Now, of course, that's also easier said than done. If you, like myself, have a full-time 9-to-5 job and also have a kid at home and family you love, sometimes it's hard to want to go out and do extra work. But if your goal is to get that house sooner than later for a small period of time, it might be worth picking up an extra side job or side hustle to make that payment happen faster. Tip number 2, and this one's revolutionary, is to offer less than what the seller is asking for the price of the home. No one said you had to offer the price that's there. And the great part about buying a home in a higher interest rate market is that it really prices out a lot of people. How many of you tried to buy homes during COVID in 2022 when interest rates were near zero? If you did, I'm sure you found that competition was incredibly high and people were overpaying for homes. Well, it does suck to have our higher interest rates now. The beauty of it is that people are so scared to buy because they see higher interest rates. If you either save cash like we talked about before or offer less than asking and maybe have a little extra cash too, you definitely won't have to worry about that interest rate when you go to purchase and could even possibly refinance at a lower rate in the future. Worst case scenario, what if interest rates go up? Then you've lost this interest rate, which may be high to us now, but could be low in 1, 2, 3, 4 years if they were to go up in the future. Again, there's no magic 8-ball that I have to tell you what they could be, and I feel like the Fed's the same way. They have no idea what they think the interest rates are going to be. They just kind of take it day by day. If you have not already, like and subscribe to this video as it helps me see what content you all like and want to see in the future. Tip number 3 is to make multiple offers. So if you combine our first tip of having more cash, tip number 2 of offering under asking price for multiple houses, and then take this tip number 3 and make multiple offers, you're more than likely going to get the results you're looking for. Now, of course, but please don't compromise the standards you have in evaluating a house for whether it will suit your needs. Again, whether to live in with your family yourself or use as an investment property. So take that in mind as well. But think about it. The more offers you make, the more likely you are to hear yes from at least one or a few other sellers who are interested in selling. And the great part is, if you happen to have that circumstance where multiple sellers are interested in selling, you could have the pick of the lot. Our bonus tip, and actually I'll probably label it this way, our controversial tip for today's video is moving. Yes, I know, John, that's so hard to do. It's a big ask, right? If you have to move out of your area to find a house that's more affordable, sometimes that's just the case. For example, so I'm currently up here in the Northern Virginia area. This is the area in which I grew up. My parents grew up here, and my aunts and uncles, by and large, grew up here as well. Housing up here is not as affordable as it used to be. While their dollars went a lot farther way back when in buying a house here, the dollars I make now don't stretch quite as far. So if I want to kind of still live in this area, I may need to move further south or probably not north into Maryland. I don't think it'd be much cheaper out there. Probably need to move further south to find more affordable housing, and just accept that I have to take a commute. Now, that's just talking about local moving. If we talk about moving far away, from here, I'm going to Missouri next, specifically to Fort Leonard Wood. Over there, housing is incredibly affordable. What you can get in Missouri would get you nothing here in Virginia. You could find, and don't quote me on this, you could find a 4-bed, 2-bath, 3,000 square foot home on 2 acres for like $300,000 in the middle of Missouri. Whereas here, you could find maybe a townhome. You're here in Virginia, you could find maybe a townhome for that same price. So cross-state, cross-country moving to find affordable housing, especially if you work remote, is definitely a great option. Now, I kind of covered this in the beginning of this example, but what I meant by moving a little farther, take the extra commute, really, if you can't move far to find affordable housing, sometimes you just need to expand your buy box. And what that might mean is accepting that you need to commute a little longer into work. I myself right now commute about an hour and 15 into work every single day. It sucks. It totally sucks. But housing out where we are in this area is significantly more affordable than it is up closer to Belvoir. And sometimes that's just what you got to do to buy a home. I hope you got something out of today's video. Buying a home, yes, is a little daunting, but is an incredible privilege when you get to say that this place is mine. If you want to learn where to park your savings while you're waiting to buy a house, click this video here to learn more. If you're looking for a financial coach to help you invest in a house in the future, sign up for a free appointment today with the calendar link in the description or in the comment section down below. There we can set you up on a path to buying a house in the future. I love each and every one of you, and I'll see y'all in the next video.